The odds of that happening have to be somewhere in the neighborhood of an exponential function that's basically, I would imagine, x to about the 10th power or thereabouts. Whatever x is, I'm not really sure how that variable factor works out, but every time you fold the bill, it has to make it exponentially harder to resemble the bombing of one of our buildings. So anyway, we've looked at 2 bills and you've seen 1, 2, 3, 4 images of bombings on only the 2 $20 bills. That's only the $20 bills. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to prophesy for you. The Lord has poured this prophecy into me, and after I prophesy, I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you what those words mean. And it's just fascinating. So let me just take a moment and pray. Lord, I pray that you'll just speak those words through me again so that these people can hear it and understand. And I'm praying that you give everybody that watches this video the eyes to see and the heart to understand and the ears to hear. So thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, the hand of the oppressor has been lifted against you. And out of the sea shall come fire and smoke and a devouring wind. Water as high as the walls of Jerusalem shall cover the city by the sea, and great shall be the destruction of that city. And behold, the great wall which holds back the abundance of the rivers shall burst forth, bringing the hand of the oppressor against you, for I have seen it. For mighty is your enemy that is risen from within your own borders. Now behold the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, standing in the holy place where it should not be. Here is the mystery made known to you. You are the holy place of which I speak. And the abomination of desolation shall rise from within the walls of the temple to destroy the temple. For have you not seen, and have you not heard, and has it not been made known to you? Have you not read the scriptures? For when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, they did bear children to them, and the same became mighty men. And has not the sea turned mighty? And the sea shall turn terrible before your very eyes, and the terrible one shall be elevated within the sea. And behold, the man of peace shall come forth from the sea, Barack Hussein Obama. And with words of peace, he will bring chaos and destruction. Behold the fig tree. It puts forth its leaves, and suddenly the time is upon you. The travail begins, and a holy nation is to be born, and it will not stop until that nation is brought forth. This is an appeal from God. It's very serious stuff. A time of travail is coming. The Bible talks about, once the birth pains begin, that's it. It's just like a woman going into travail when her birth pains begin. It doesn't stop until the child is born. Well, a holy nation is about to be born, and that's what this is all about. And it's an appeal from God to you to turn to Jesus Christ. Now we're going to take a little break. I'm going to collect myself. And then what we're going to do is we're going to present the body of evidence. Okay. That utterance was done in 2008, before Barack Obama became the President of the United States.
Here's where we stand. As the Financial Times reports, it's a tight race on the Democratic side. Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama now essentially tied.
Secondly, every national opinion poll shows her stronger than Barack Obama. In the battleground states, Ohio, she's ahead. He's behind McCain. Pennsylvania, she's ahead. He's only a little ahead. And in Florida, he's 15 points down to McCain. She's neck and neck.
Vegas-style advice from Real Clear Politics' John McIntyre. He gives 3 reasons to bet on Hillary.
That's why the only place I'm going to let my mind go is that John McCain wins, and the people who are standing knee-deep in Chicago have a long, cold night ahead of them.
A new poll conducted by CNN and Opinion Research Corporation was released on Tuesday. The survey placed Senators John McCain and Barack Obama statistically equal in the presidential race.
He rose to power. He won the Nobel Peace Prize, the man of peace. He has come forth from the sea of humanity to destroy humanity.
I'm here to tell you, Iowa, he
is the one.
This is the fastest rise to the presidency in more than 100 years. And the fact that the man propelling that rise was 4 years ago a state senator, in his own words, a skinny black kid with a funny name who came from a big city, a place Americans don't pick their presidents from, to ride the mantle of change in one of the more brilliant campaigns anyone has ever seen into the White House, is one for the history books.
White House. And Obama is fighting for gay rights.
First of all, giving honor to God and our Lord and Savior, Barack Obama. Barack Obama. Y'all stand up.
I will give our military a new mission on my first day in office, ending this war. Let me be clear. We must be as careful getting out of Iraq as we were careless getting in.
And when I am President of the United States, we will end this war in Iraq and bring our troops home.
And this is the future we need for our military. We cannot tolerate this strain on our forces to fight a war that has not made us safer.
Sources tell CBS News that General Stanley McChrystal's strong recommendation to the president is for 40,000 additional troops for Afghanistan.
I am going to actively oppose the president's proposal. I don't doubt his sincerity when he says that he thinks this is the best approach, but I think he is wrong, and I think the American people believe he's wrong.
First, peace is necessary. I believe that. That is what is best for Iraq. That is what is best for America. And that's why I will end this war as president. I believe that peace is the only path to true security.
There are a number of different things that you could do early pertaining to executive orders.
Right.
One of them is to shut down Guantanamo Bay.
I have said repeatedly that I intend to close Guantanamo, and I will follow through on that.
There is no justification beyond politics for Congress to prevent us from closing a facility that should have never been opened. Today, once again, today, I'm about to address it.
Commander-in-Chief.
Let me address it.
Close Guantanamo today.
Why don't you let me address it, ma'am? This is part of free speech, is you being able to speak, but also you listening, and me being able to speak. All right?
Iran, Cuba, Venezuela, these countries are tiny compared to the Soviet Union. They don't pose a serious threat to us. I mean, if Iran ever tried to pose a serious threat to us, they wouldn't stand a chance. Iran is a grave threat. It has an illicit nuclear program. It supports terrorism across the regions and militias in Iraq. It threatens Israel's existence.
I have two words for you: predator drones. You will never see it coming. You think I'm joking?
Is there accountability? None whatsoever.
Drones have become the symbol of America's undeclared wars. Wars that seem to have no state or legal boundaries.
We've opened up a new realm of warfare, a new realm of breaching international and domestic law.
Used in Pakistan, Yemen, and elsewhere, they have killed scores of civilians. The former chief counterinsurgency strategist for the U.S. State Department has estimated that drone attacks kill 50 non-targeted persons for each intended target.
Mr. President, you've given very eloquent talks about the moral force of nonviolence. I was wondering, could you describe the dilemma to be a Nobel Peace Prize winner and getting ready to attack Syria?
I would refer you to the speech that I gave when I received the Nobel Prize. And
the Peace Prize is traditionally given for long-term achievements.
Terrorism has long been a tactic, but modern technology allows a few small men with outsized rage to murder innocents on a horrific scale.
Responsibility for. But we have to send a clear message to the Iraqi government as well as to the surrounding neighbors that there is no military solution to the problems that we face.
In northwest Pakistan, the new year began with deadly U.S. drone strikes, killing at least 19 people.
So as president, I've made it a priority to strengthen our partnership with the Yemeni government, training and equipping their security forces, sharing intelligence, and working with them to strike al-Qaeda terrorists.
This is all propaganda that the drones are killing militants. The fact is that any drone attack which has happened in our tribal region has killed innocent people and mostly women and children.
But this is precisely the time to respond to the wave of revolution with a resolve and commitment for peace.
2010 has been dubbed the year of drone attacks in Pakistan, as more than 110 drone strikes have reportedly killed over 930 people.
In fact, by killing Pakistani militants and civilians who are not a threat to the US, the Americans are actually creating more enemies for themselves. They are radicalizing the population.
There has never been a hail of drone attacks like the numbers so far this year.
Peace will have to be made among peoples, not just governments.
Officials in Tripoli claim more than 800 civilians have died in NATO raids.
Mr. Obama morally and legally responsible for the deaths of these innocent children, innocent boys and girls, and innocent fathers and mothers. You cannot justify this attack with any means. This is not protection of civilians.
Quick question. I'm wondering, are you disappointed with Barack Obama expanding the wars and keeping open Guantanamo Bay for torture?
That's a really major political question, but let me say this. You're asking the right person to give you the right answer, and that is, I just believe that if our president feels he needs to do whatever it takes to bring peace to the world, I'm all about that.
Is he bringing peace by bombing other countries and torturing other people?
Well, I think that torturing and bombing and all that has happened for centuries and centuries and centuries and centuries.
I want the American people to know that the use of force is not our first choice, and it's not a choice that I make lightly.
No new wars! Hands off Syria! No new wars! Hands off Iran!
I believe the drones are totally illegal and they're irresponsible, and it's going to come back to bite us because we wouldn't want drones above our skies killing indiscriminately. There's been more drones, way more drones under Obama than under Bush.
According to the Bureau of Investigative Journalism, the CIA has conducted 378 strikes in the program's 10-year history. Of those, 326 are classified as Obama strikes. The total number of people killed by drones is estimated at 2,528 to 3,648. Civilian casualties are estimated at 416 to 948, with 168 to 200 of those being children. As many as another 1,500 are estimated to have been injured.
Way more drones under Obama than under Bush. So I'm not giving Obama a pass. I mean, it's irresponsible to be a war criminal no matter whether you're a Democrat or a Republican. It's not a partisan issue.
I was an Obama enthusiastic supporter 4 years ago. I'm very disappointed in what he's done. I'm very aware that the alternative is far worse, but I have no enthusiasm. I will not be campaigning for Obama.
In the case of Obama having won, it was a cruel disappointment. Actually, Obama, in many ways, is Bush on steroids. At the end of Bush's term, there was some changes. Bush was starting to close Guantanamo. He was repatriating. Guess what? The election occurred. Obama can't end Guantanamo, and now we're actually in a worse position than we were at the end of Bush's term.
And I believe that those who are saying they have to do what needs to happen to make this end permanently, we have to say, okay, let's do what we need to do to make the world better.
If anything, I would actually dare say that Barack Obama's foreign policy is slightly worse than George Bush's, which I didn't think was possible.
Well, what really is driving me up the wall is the government wanting to use the tools of war without declaring war. And then I thought to myself, you know, if the government actually declared war on a country or a group, and then that country or that group surrendered, the war would be over. But by the use of an authorization to use military force, which is what President Bush got from the Congress and handed to President Obama, this is as open-ended as can be. He can, if he follows the letter of this authorization, attack any group in any country anywhere on the planet if he can make an argument that he's doing so in order to fight terrorism. To an extent, the Congress gave American presidents more power than it would have if it had declared war in the traditional sense.
By utilizing American patriotism, we have fostered in the American soldier the philosophy of peace through superior force. When the time is right, we will migrate that mentality towards the belief in a global government who must protect all people through superior force. We have used the American military-industrial complex to build the arsenal necessary to instigate the final cleansing outlined in Lumacorp's Great Plan.
For mighty is your enemy that is risen from within your own borders. And has not the sea turned mighty? And the sea shall turn terrible before your very eyes. And the terrible one shall be elevated within the sea. And behold, the man of peace shall come forth from the sea, Barack Hussein Obama. And with words of peace he will bring chaos and destruction. Behold the fig tree. It puts forth its leaves, and suddenly the time is upon you. The travail begins, and a holy nation is to be born, and it will not stop until that nation is brought forth.
Okay guys, we have a world that is going wacko. We have countries at war. Nobody knows who's who or what's what. We have earthquakes in diverse places. We have wars and rumors of wars. We have strange things in the heavens and in the skies. There'll be strange, Luke 21 says, you know, you'll see signs in the sun and the moon and the stars. My goodness.
Particularly here in Virginia Beach. Now, experts simply don't know what is causing all of these hundreds of dolphins to die.
This is by far the most serious event that I've ever seen.
This is the second tornado to strike northern Tokyo in the last week.
The death toll has risen to 350.
Hundreds more are hurt, thousands are homeless.
This earthquake was so powerful that the force of these shifting plates created a new mini island in the Arabian Sea.
Residents said they've never seen anything like it. The image is just shocking. Homes up to their roofs with water, rescuers using canoes to get people to safety.
Rainfall totals that are sometimes coming up with almost half a year's rain in just a matter of hours.
Officials are ordering mandatory evacuation.
There will be signs in the sun, the moon, and the stars. And people are seeing it now.
Oh my God, Nikki, look! Nikki, it's really pushing in.
This is an appeal from God. It's very serious stuff. And that's what this is all about. And it's an appeal from God to you to turn to Jesus Christ